Another big week of NFL action. That doesn't even sound right, but whatever. It was. Week 10 was something, and the Bears won. So they keep the delusions alive for at least another week. Anyways, it's time to take a look back at Week 10 of the 2019 NFL season. You start off with the Thursday night action. The Raiders, with Josh Jacobs' 18-yard touchdown run late in the game, helped power the Raiders over the Los Angeles Chargers. Not so much Charger power there in Los Angeles, I suppose. But Raiders come out ahead, win 26-24. Then you kick over to the Sunday action. Mitchell Trubisky throws for 3 touchdowns, still under 200 yards, and against a crappy Lions defense. But the Lions, even besides Jeff Driscoll's best efforts, did what the Lions do and found a way to lose to the Bears in Soldier Field 20-13. Lamar Jackson, not surprisingly, ran wild all over the Cincinnati Bengals, ruining Ryan Finley's NFL debut. Ravens beat the Bengals badly, 49-13. Stephen Hauschka missed a late 53-yard field goal, I believe it was, and the Cleveland Browns win! Holy hell! Hold off the Browns 19-16. Patrick Mahomes returned just a few weeks after his dislocated knee injury, which speaks to his stud factor anyways, but nonetheless, even with Mahomes coming back, it wasn't enough to overcome Derrick Henry's huge day. The Titans win 35-32, and if you could figure out what the hell the Tennessee Titans are in 2019, let me know, because I don't know if anybody knows. The Atlanta Falcons, I'll tell you what, even though this season is already lost, they came out flying. They were doing the dirty bird. Yeah, you didn't think you were going to get the dirty bird from me, but you did. The dirty bird flies again. They smashed the Saints in New Orleans at that, I believe. 26-9. Where the hell did that come from? You talk about the biggest surprise of the week. Sam Darnold played better. Le'Veon Bell had a touchdown, and the Jets did enough to hold off the Giants 34-27. Peyton Barber's late 1-yard touchdown plunge helped the Bucs ground the Cardinals 30-27. How about this? So much for tanking for Tua or blowing for Burrow. The Dolphins hit 2 late field goals. They win their second in a row, beating the Colts 16-12. How about them Dolphins? Yeah! Aaron Jones's 3 touchdowns and a late defensive stand helped the Packers hold off a game, and very game at that, Carolina Panthers team in Lambeau, in the snow and everything, 24-16. What a fun game that was to watch. Minkah Fitzpatrick, making me and others start to look bad, scores another defensive touchdown. The Steelers' defense played well. Jared Goff did not. Steelers upset the Rams in Pittsburgh 17-12. Dak had a big day. That is very true. Unfortunately for him, it wasn't enough to overcome Cool Cousins. Like when he plays well, and in particular against a team with an above 500 record in prime time. He's not Kid Cousins. He's Cool Cousins. Cool Cousins and the Vikings go into Dallas. They win Sunday night. Impressive statement type of win for them almost. Winning 28-24. Leaves more questions than answers, if anything, for the Cowboys. You can beat the bad teams. Can you beat anybody worth a damn? That's a valid question. Then you go to Monday night, and I think truly one of the games of the year, which really shouldn't have been a surprise. Seattle goes into Santa Clara, goes into the Field of Jeans, and figures out a way to pull it out against the 49ers, toppling San Francisco in overtime 27-24. Now, in terms of the winners and losers from the week that was, I'll go first with the Atlanta Falcons. It's been a bad, disappointing, and horrendous type of season for them. That is true. But to come out like they did on the road, smash and dominate the Saints like they did, hats off to them. This is a season that's already lost. They could give up, but they clearly did not. You got to give them credit for that. The Minnesota Vikings going on the road into Dallas Sunday night. The team, Kirk Cousins, they showed up big when they needed to. That was a big win for the Minnesota Vikings, and really puts them in a good position, if not to still contend for the NFC North, which certainly is a possibility for them at this point. But at least, if nothing else, putting them in position to get close to locking down some type of wild card spot, that's for sure. And then you look at the Seattle Seahawks going on the road. You talk about this is a team that sometimes can be frustrating to watch because they'll struggle at home to beat the Bucs, but then they'll go on the road against a hellified 49ers defense, and they'll figure out a way in prime time to pull out the win, even after Russ's really bad interception late in that game. Like all that talk about the kicker and this and that, and the Seahawks still found a way to win. In terms of the losers, you look at the Detroit Lions. I know you didn't have Stafford. I know you've had some other injuries on that team, but the Bears are toast. And you let them have some fleeting hope that the season can still be salvaged. Like, Trubisky sucks. Matt Nagy as a play caller sucks. That offense is not good. And the Lions let Trubisky throw for 3 touchdown passes on him. He didn't even throw for 200 yards. But still, that's a bad loss for the Lions, and that pretty much effectively ends their season. The Indianapolis Colts. You're in a position, I know you didn't have Jacoby Brissett for this game, but goddamn, son. I mean, the Dolphins at home? Really? Those are the type of losses that really hurt. And then the Los Angeles Rams. This is a team coming off a Super Bowl appearance last year. They're going to be lucky to make the damn playoffs. They're just not the same. Jared Goff stinks. There's definitely something missing right now. And that was a bad loss for them on the road against a mediocre Steelers team that is playing very hard for Mike Tomlin. Crazy thing is, you could argue this might be Mike Tomlin's best pure coaching job during his entire time in Pittsburgh, and that even includes the Super Bowl championship season and the other conference champion season. Think about that for a second. Your top performers of the week, even though it came in a loss, Patrick Mahomes coming off of the dislocated knee 3 weeks plus later, 446 passing yards and 3 touchdowns because he's a stud. In terms of running backs, I'll go Derrick Henry, 188 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns, leading the Titans over the Chiefs. Man, when he gets going in the open field, would you want to tackle that 250-pound mother effer? I certainly would not. In terms of wide receivers, I'll go with Christian Kirk, 6 receptions, 138 yards, 3 touchdowns. While it wasn't enough to help the Cardinals beat the Bucs, it was still a big day for the second-year receiver from Texas A&M. In terms of tight ends, Travis Kelce, 7 receptions, 75 yards, and a touchdown. And then for defense, you got to go to the Falcons. While they didn't force any turnovers on Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints, they got to Brees 6 times, and they only allowed 9 points on the road. That is impressive stuff, no matter how you want to spin it. And that brings me to this week's 2-minute drill. And I was sitting there thinking about, what am I going to talk about? And I figured it out. I know exactly what I'm going to talk about. I'm just going to issue a slight warning to 49ers fans. Now, granted, you could make the argument with me being a Bears fan, what the hell would I know about qualified, competent quarterback play in the National Football League when it comes to my own team? And you know what? You are absolutely correct. But what it does allow me to do to be uniquely qualified to tell when other quarterbacks don't have it. And I'm going to warn you now, don't set yourself up for failure. Jimmy G ain't that dude. I think Garoppolo is solid. But these 49ers fans that come up with every single excuse under the sun why it's not Jimmy Garoppolo's fault. And look, the loss Monday night, that's a team loss, just like it should have been a team win if they won. And 49er fans are going to cite his win-loss record. And I'll say this, is that since the start of 2018, Mitchell Trubisky is 15-7 as a starter. What the hell does that make a difference? When you look at Jimmy G, even when you watch that game, yes, this team was in a position to win it late. And yes, the kicker missed a kick in overtime, which was ridiculous that they said the moment was too big for him, since he had just hit a big field goal at the end of the game in regulation to send the cocksucker to overtime. I'm going to promise you right now, the 49ers defense is legit. The 49ers defense is Super Bowl worthy. Your quarterback is going to cost you. He's slow to read the field. He is slow to recognize and react to what he sees. He makes too many questionable to bad to interceptable passes. And even when you watch that game on Monday night, there were a couple of plays where it's bouncing right off of a Seahawks defender's hands. I'm just, 49ers fans, keep an open eye. I'm not telling you that Jimmy G is total crap. That's Mitchell Trubisky. There's a big difference between the two of them. But there's not as big of a difference as you might like to believe. Jimmy G takes too many chances. He has too many passes that are just off the mark, just in general. And I don't care about completion percentage. I don't talk about things like that. I'm talking about when it really matters, you're going to find out come playoff time that he's not that dude. He can get you to a certain point, But are you really ready to throw your stock totally behind Jimmy Garoppolo as the dude that's going to lead you to a Super Bowl? Really? Really? And you can miss me with all that win-loss record because that don't mean crap. Alex Smith won a ton of games as a starter in the National Football League with the Chiefs. The hell did that mean? Give me a break.